Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we back, and we back, and we back. Hey. It's your boy Landlord from Alabama, man. We back in the trap with it. Salute to all my people. Hey, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the hype button, hit all the goddamn buttons, man. We in the building with it, man. Let's go. Hey, it's a beautiful day to be a cowboy, like every other day. You understand me? Salute to my guy Troy Dudley. That's all I see in the building right now, so that's concerning. You understand? So hit that like button, hit that share button. You understand me? We back in full effect. You feel me? Let's do it. Let's get it done. Yes, sir. Salute to all my folks, man. We in the building with it. Yes, sir. And we back, and we back. Yes, sir. We in the building, man. Hey, we got a lot to discuss. So, soon as the people start rolling in, we gonna get jumping and we gonna get started. Shout out to the GOAT, Stephen and Kara in the building, man. What's happening, man? We got the trap back live in full effect. I promise y'all. I promise you. We back with it, man. Hey, I know I don't do many of these, man, so y'all gotta make sure y'all let me know. Show me some love. Hey, the more love I get, the more participation I get, the more shows like this. You understand me? That's something you won't have to worry about, man. So, hey, make sure you hit that like button, that share button. Hey, what they say, hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card. We trapping on a Saturday. You understand me? We trapping on a Saturday. We here today, man. Let's do it. Let's get it. Shout out to D Swift in the building. Shout out to Nigel Wanza in the building. Shout out to the league commander, the head op in the building. You understand me? Shout out to Down Bottom 300 Blocks. Salute to you, my guy. And salute to my bodyguard in the building, TA Cowboys. What's happening? We in the building with it, man. But hey, first and foremost, you know we gotta make sure them haters doing the most what they was put on God's green earth to do, and you already knew that is hate, man. Let's make sure we hit this like a share for the squad. It will not charge a car. We in the building with it, man. Salute to all my people. Let's get it. Yeah. We back. Yeah.
I can't see a thing, all this money in my face. Hey. I just blew a bag, ran it back the same day. Hey. Ain't no looking back, came a long way. Hey. I know that they mad, but just let them hate. Hey. That what make them hate. That what make them hate. Hey. And we just get K and they just in the way. Hey. That what make them hate. That what make them hate. Hey. Cause we just get K and they just in the way. Hey. Landlord is showing how to ball, boy. You ain't even on the team, you just a ball, boy. Real high, used to rock knockout, but it's real now. I'm real fly. I probably average your career high. The one they hating on it, probably wanna kill. When they got our own band, we hollin' for a deal now, yeah. Long live CEO, CIP the dollar. Took my brother, that shit made me go harder. That shit turned me to a monster. Now I'm focused on the comma. I'm a run of them comma, for the summer, run of them numbers, yeah. I know that they hate the way the ball, man. Rockin' all this ball, man. Street made on the chain, yeah. I can't see a thing, all this money in my face. I just blew a bag, ran it back the same day. Ain't no looking back, we came a long way. Hey, I know that they mad, but just let them hate. Hey, that what make them hate. That what make them hate. Hey, and we just get K and they just in the way. Hey, that what make them hate. That what make them hate. Hey, cause we just get K and they just in the way. Hey.
Now you might think you at school or maybe even at home or watching me through your phone, but I promise you in the trap, sir. Trap. I promise. Trap. Make no mistake about it, man. Hey, it's a lot of stuff going on in Dallas Cowboy land. I've been seeing your boy Shotty just had a press conference earlier. My guy Christian Parker was talking about a lot of the draft picks that he done acquired over the offseason, and how he envisioned them and what he looking forward to and how he gonna utilize them. They've been spilling a lot of the beans and giving a lot of their ideas away. And we just gonna discuss some of it, man. We gonna look at some of these interviews and we gonna talk about it as a family, man. Y'all know how we do, man. Salute to everybody rocking. I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you hit the like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card. And we gonna get straight into the business, man. What we say, is that a bird or a plane? Hold on, wait a minute. What is that? I don't know. Oh, it's nefarious news, of course. That's what it is, man. Shout out to everybody out chill rocking. Hey, man, salute to my guy Troy Dudley coming in strong right before we get started with the $10 holla. What's happening? Let's get it. Trap. Yes, sir. He says so. Is Downs a top 3 in Cowboy DB backfield all time? Hey, man, wait a minute. Slow your roll. Hold up. Slow your roll. Hey, man. I think he might be, you know, it might be possible, but we got to see him do stuff on the field first. Like, and I do project him to be one of the best players we got, but we gotta relax. We gotta see how he gel with his team. Y'all know how I feel. I strongly feel like a lot of these players' fortune be really dependent upon their systems and their situations. Like, we gotta see how Christian gonna work with them, and I think it's a match made in heaven, but we gotta see it though. We gotta see it materialize. But I like the optimism though. I do. I like the optimism. But let's get the show started, man. Trap topics of the day. You already know how we doing it. And your coach Shotty got a lot to say today, man. He's on the interview today, so we're gonna review some of the things he said.
The green dot is what is it? It's interesting because I think some people, general fans, don't really know what the green dot is. Hell, there was never a green dot for defense up until a couple years ago. The biggest thing I would say about that is we're going to train so many people, Clarence, in the green dot, that we're going to find out who's comfortable doing it. It might be Demo. It might be Jalen Thompson. It might be D. Winters. It might be whoever.
And roll time.
I think at the end of the day, communication comes down to not just the green dot, but the entire defense. And so if we were playing a game this week, I could not tell you who was going to be the green dot. But we're not playing a game for a while, and so we've got time. There'll be trial and error. There will be different things. There'll be different packages of guys being together. And so at the end of the day, I have my favorite, who I would, since it's a Kentucky Derby, I can talk about that a little bit. I have my favorite, not in the Derby, but in who I think will be our green dot, but I'm not going to share it with you.
Shotty got jokes today. Shotty got jokes today. That was unnecessary, Mr. Shotty. You ain't have to do us like that. We thought you was cooking. We thought you finna give us some valuable information, and you did us like that. That was dirty. But I don't know, y'all. How y'all feel about this, man? Because now I'm sitting back looking like, they say if you got 7 green dots, you have 0 green dots, Trap. If you have 17 green dots, you have 0 green dots. So I think that's kind of concerning when you think about it, man. So they still on the search. I really wish they could have got their linebacker in free agency, because we know we want to have a vet that's manning all the troops and, at the helm of the defense. But I don't know how we going to work it out, man. Real quick, shout out to my guy Keystone in the building, man. What's happening? Salute. He says, with the $4.99, I like what CP is saying, but we must expect bumps and bruises in his first year, and the Colt fans will want him out immediately. Hey, man, it is scary out here in Dallas land. It's scary out here, man. Like I said, Keystone, it's really unfair to me, because I feel like it's almost the same way how we drafted these defensive ends. Like, they don't fit our timeline, right? They don't really fit our timeline, so now we trying to accelerate theirs. We like, hey, it don't matter if you're not ready right now. We need you to be ready right now. That's how the Cowboy fan base is right now. And, like, I understand, because I feel the same way, but it's not the draft pick's fault. It's really the organization fault, because they not operating on the same timeline that we feel like they should. And that's a problem. So now we bringing these young guys in who never sniffed the NFL before, who never played a snap, and we got these lofty goals and expectations for them, and that's really unfair to the player. But that's the situation we in. They got to transition from being an amateur football player to a professional, and some of the burdens that come with being a professional is some pressurized situation, is some demanding, trying to get your stuff together very quickly. But it, to a certain degree, is still unfair because they should be able to grow at their own pace instead of our pace. You know what I'm saying? So the Cowboys, the organization, Shady, Christian Parker, you have to put a lot of blame on them because they're the ones who putting these players in the starting role and expecting the world of them day one. That's not us. We didn't ask for that, because I know I didn't ask for these defensive ends. I really expected us to get some vets in here. You could demand from a vet ASAP, but I don't think it's wise to do that from a rookie. Like, that's just being foul. Hey, we not saying it's impossible, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say, I'm not betting the house on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be fair to the players and the position we in. I'm trying to be fair to the rebuild of the whole defense. So I wouldn't bet the house on that, just being real.
I don't know if it was Caleb or one of the other rookies. They talked about that the Super Bowl and getting to the Super Bowl was emphasized in one of the meetings. Can you talk about that conversation and what was that about?
Yeah, I think I've never shied away from it, that's the goal. Never will. I think I'm more comfortable talking about it now because I do feel like this team is built to where, I feel even better going into year two. Thrilled about the defensive changes that we've made. I'm quite honestly elated about how the draft went. But I started that with the veterans as well. Super Bowl 61, February 14th, 2027, and that's where we plan on being. And that's a tall task, and we have to clean up a number of things that we need to improve on from last year, and that starts with protecting the football and taking it away and things like that nature. But it was proven this year by both Seattle and New England that if you didn't qualify for the playoffs, the previous year, it doesn't mean you can't get to the big game.
We talked to D. Winners.
That's a fair assessment, man. That's the goal for every team, especially a team like us. Well, we feel like we but we feel like we was a better team than what our record showed. You know what I'm saying? We just didn't put it all together on the defensive end of the field. And that's what doomed this team, like, dramatically. It doomed us. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. We couldn't stop nothing. So they just put up points on us. And in some games we can keep up and put points on them. Sometimes we couldn't. So that was pretty much the summary of the season last year. So to be optimistic like this, talking Super Bowl, after winning, 7 games? How many games we won? Like, not a lot of games. And, I think that's kind of a stretch. But Shotty been talking Super Bowl since day one, so I don't blame him from not backing down from that. But I'm not thinking Super Bowl right now, especially if until I see what this defense look like.
Today, and he said he'd never done the green dot. So much talk about the green dot and the other guy and what that looks like, and why did it not matter with him, and or is this something he can do? Can you just talk about the vision for that green dot, who that could be?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the green dot is what is it? It's interesting because I think some people, general fans, don't really know what the green dot is. Hell, there was never a green dot for defense up until a couple years ago.
Nick Harris, Sports Star-Telegram. Last year was you during rookie minicamp trying to, get your practice in order and get everything situated. Now it's Christian Parker. How have you seen him really delegate to his staff, take control of his side of the ball, whether it be on the field or in these meetings, even though it's been super brief? Yeah,
I think he's what helps him, Nick, is the conviction. He knows what he wants. He does a great job getting his staff together and painting that picture. But I will say, he's he's very, very comfortable walking around and observing his staff. You know, when I became a coordinator at 32, I was probably a little bit more of a micromanager. It's not a good thing, but like I was coaching the quarterback still and all that stuff. But I think, again, it shows some of his maturity that, hey, I've trained these coaches on what I want, what I expect, and I'm going to go make sure they're, you know, giving me what I've requested. But at the same time, you know, it was really cool to see him grab Caleb after Caleb did some of the safety training with Smitty, Ryan Smith, and Rob Muschamp and Derek Ansley, to see those guys kind of watch CP take Caleb into the nickel stuff and some of the pattern match stuff and footwork stuff. And, I mean, the guy's an elite coach, and I told him last night, I said, hey, you know, you can't do enough of that, because, again, he is an expert, and the guys he's trained, you know, speaks for itself.
And there's still quite a
Yeah, so we got to see what Christian Parker coaching style is. See, that's something that he got to grow into too. Like, of course, you had your role as the secondary, the passing game coordinator and all that, but you got to grow into what kind of defensive coordinator you want to be. So that take time too. Like, I do see a lot of conviction in the way he carry himself, so that's a positive. And conviction just means you know what you want and you already picked your style. So if he can make that transition be smooth because he's a confident guy, he kind of already got a vision for what he want, that's the best for the team, man. Because it's a process for him to even become a defensive coordinator in the first place. Like, going from a secondary coach to a defensive coordinator, that's a pretty big jump. Of course, a coach with a bright future like him, I'm sure he already been visioning this and planning this and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be too dramatic for him. But we got to give this dude some grace, y'all. Like, I know we want this defense to be championship level day one, but, like, that is so unfair to Christian Parker and his defense. Like, it sucks, but your organization, let me put this on the big screen, because people be acting like the organization is without fault, and that's the problem. Your organization is the one that had 4 defensive coordinators in the last 4 years, not Christian Parker. You see what I'm saying? Like, we didn't tell him to do it, but this is the situation we have. And y'all seen that was probably the worst defense God has ever created last year. Trap. So what in the world would make you think that in 1 year we just gonna fix everything? Now, like, when I say that, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that it's not likely. That's all. Like, being realistic is not likely. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not just trying to rain on your parade. I'm just trying to temper your expectations. I'm trying to be logical with my assessment. Best case scenario, we get in the top 15. That'll be wonderful for us. If this offense still operating at the same level it was last year or better, which it should be better with given this being year 2, I don't want to see no regression, Shotty. But if that offense operating at the same level and then your defense get up to like top middle of the pack or something like that, you got something cooking in. But to expect this defense to just be all world all of a sudden, man, I really think you should relax a little bit. Just a little bit, man. I pray that you right, but I wouldn't bet the house on it once again.
Quite a bit of Mike linebackers in the free agency market. Do you feel like another starting caliber Mike linebacker is needed to kind of throw into the competition?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm comfortable with where we are. We're not looking. We're not evaluating. I think, adding.
Stop it, Shotty. Chill out. Trap. Hey, man, if that was not bullshit, like, just being real, like, Shotty, we understand that his role is political. Like, I'm not just here trying to bash Shotty, but we know this political. Listen to the way he answered this question, man. We not looking. I'm comfortable,
match stuff and footwork
stuff.
And
Relax.
I mean, the guy's an elite coach, and I told him last night, I said, hey, you can't do enough of that, because, again, he is an expert, and the guys he's trained, speaks for itself.
And there's still quite a bit of Mike linebackers in the free agency market. Do you feel like another starting caliber Mike linebacker is needed to kind of throw into the competition?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm comfortable with where we are. We're not looking. We're not.
Man, stop it. Trap. we just talked about conviction, right? Did that sound like Shotty had some conviction in the way he answered that question? Like, when a man get to stuttering and looking unsure and babbling over his words, you know that that's not a confident man. He's not confident in the words that's coming out of his mouth. That's for sure. He said, well, I'm not looking, but, I'm comfortable with Shotty. What the hell are you talking about, man? What the hell are you talking about? Trap. That's what make it hard for me, to take up for coaches sometimes, man. Because it's like we want to take up for them because we know that the front office is toxic. But when they go up here and take the role and take the fall and fall on the sword for them, how sorry should I feel for them? How sorry should I feel for him? Like, I don't know. I don't know how sorry I should feel for him when he's openly falling on the sword for the front office. I don't know how sorry I should feel for him. I just don't. But let's see. Continue.
Not evaluating. I think, adding, D and adding Jay Sean and adding Curtis Robinson, and, we'll get, opportunity to evaluate these guys once phase 1 ends, which it'll end this week, and then we'll start phase 2. But, we're never closed for business. And, at the end of the day, I think, we've got a good group of linebackers, and now it's about training them with Christian and Scott Simons and those guys and getting them all on the same page about the system that we want to run.
You mentioned it briefly there.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's coach speak. I ain't mad at it because I understand the politics, bro, but he gonna make you look bad when you fighting for him and he's saying stuff like this. Like, sometimes you got to figure out a way to say what you want to say without saying what you want to say, if you understand what I mean.
With Caleb, and when Derek goes one-on-one with Devin Moore and BT Jordan with Malachi, when it is those smaller settings like it is now, how valuable is that one-on-one coaching time for these young guys?
It's incredible, Tommy. You don't get enough of that once they're here with the vets, and that's why I'll go back to what I said about getting caught up. Like, it's a chance to get them started from the ground up, truly the foundational fundamentals of stance and how we carry our hands and how we strike and how we teach block destruction. But, when we're out there phase 2, when the rookies come back and there's, 14 DBs or whatever it is, like, it's going to be hard to get that individual one-on-one time. I think, an area that the league's gotten right is we do get more time with the rookies, so when they're integrated in with the vets, their day is a little bit longer than the rooks, or then their day's longer than the vets, which is a good thing. They need more time. They need to get caught up on some things, and these reps are invaluable. Last year we went on the field one time. This year we're going on the field twice because I do see the value of it, and knowing that we've got some guys that are going to plug and play pretty quick for us.
John Show with The Athletic. Just early impressions. I know you haven't been around him a lot, but Caleb Downs, what stands out?
What we thought, John. I mean, the person elite, the intelligence elite. It's cool for me on the field to watch the ability for him to be going in any direction and how quickly he can get into balance. Why that matters is it matters with the ability to tackle in open field space, make plays on the ball, in coverage, time up blitzes. He's just got incredible lower body athleticism that when you watch him, he always gets into that same position where he's ready to strike with the same foot, same shoulder, whether it's left foot forward, right foot forward. And the way he moves in the individual periods, which is what really most of this camp is going to be, is mostly individual, It's very impressive how he can do that.
First day.
They speaking very glowingly about Caleb Downs, and I do think he will be a great player in the future. You know what I'm saying? But we got some Superman expectations from the kid, man. I hope he just come out here and show everybody that they right. You know what I'm saying? I hope he get on the right track. Like I said, I do think it's a match made in heaven with him and Christian Parker together, man, because Christian Parker is going to probably play him at that nickel position or the star role like Nick Saban used to have in Bama. And I think Caleb going to really shine in that. So maybe he might not even be considered a safety at all for us. He's just gonna be moving around or playing that slot position and in the box safety kind of vibes. I think he gonna move around a little bit, and he gonna have a lot of different little roles and hats that he wear. And I think that's the best for him, because I think he's such a cerebral type player that he needs to be involved in more than just one area. And I think he'll help out a lot of the confusion we had in the secondary and stuff last year. Y'all remember we had so many blown coverages. Good. We had so many blown coverages last year, and they was just picking us apart. Like, it didn't even take a good quarterback to do it. Like, any quarterback with a full arm and a football in his hand, them boys were cooking our ass. Trap. We had the Giants thinking Russell Wilson was still a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We had the Giants thinking Russell Wilson was still a starter. And then they played him about 2 more weeks and were like, nah, this dude ain't it. Nah, it was just the Cowboys defense, y'all. Like, players marked us for incentives and stuff when they played us. They was excited.
About your defensive coaches on the field, how much, you're watching the players, but how much are you kind of seeing how these guys go about it?
It was great. It was great for me just to hear the type of teachers they are with the guys, the way they preach fundamentals and teach fundamentals.
Don't listen
and
to this man.
The cool thing with the small numbers like we have right now, Todd, is you're able to kind of, you teach the drills in the classroom, then we'll go into walkthrough, and we'll do the walkthrough, we'll kind of teach them half speed, then you go out there. I do have to remind a few of those guys, the coaches, that these guys haven't been doing much. I use a guy like Malachi Lawrence, who had 16 or 17 top 30 visits. We got to be smart with these guys with what we do, and as coaches, we're just so excited to have them in the building. But I think the defensive staff as a whole, tremendous teachers, tremendous motivators, but what excites me the most is their ability to teach the fundamentals on the grass.
Sorry if I can get one more.
Getting a guy like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think a guy like Caleb, he's a natural football player. He's one of those, first picks in the schoolyard, you know what I mean? So he's going to have natural versatility, and just a matter of, what he can handle mentally and how we fit everything together.
I know it's just day one of minicamp, but what have you seen from him now, just being in the building and getting him acclimated to what you guys are doing?
He's the same guy we had in the building on the 30 visit, same guy we saw on tape, just an intentional person, consistent, really, just flatline, you know what I mean? Not like in terms of not having energy, but he's just consistent in terms of his approach and everything he does.
Shawty said that he kind of has a gravitational pull to him a little bit around other people. Mm-hmm. What have you seen from him just interacting with other players and other guys here since he got here?
Yeah, I think he just naturally has that. He's naturally engaging, naturally just interacting with everybody. He kind of has that spirit about him. So I think it just comes natural to who he is.
Man, I don't know if y'all see the main difference I feel like with this coaching staff and the ones in the past, man. It just seems like these guys are very easy to listen to. Like, they very articulate, they very clear and concise in the way that they speak. And that's the best way for you to learn, especially a young team and you coming to reboot this whole defense. I think they gonna put it in layman's terms, and they gonna have it so easy to translate and so easy to adapt to. I think they could be ahead of schedule. I'm just trying to be a little pessimistic so I won't get disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be thinking the world of it. I'd rather they exceed my expectations than not meet them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a relax a little bit, but I do think the teaching aspect of this whole coaching staff is gonna shine. That's what Shotty put a lot of emphasis on when he put these guys together. And we needed a lot of teaching because obviously the messages wasn't getting through last year. Obviously we didn't know what the hell was going on the back end of the defense last year. A whole bunch of blown coverages. Everybody looked bad. Like, the linebackers couldn't cover, the DBs couldn't cover. Like, it can't be to the point where every player was bad. It obviously was something in the messaging. Like, it was a disconnect somewhere between Eberflus and the rest of the defense. So hopefully now that we got a team of communicators and you can tell how smooth that the messages come across, like, it's gonna translate well and it's gonna work out well for the young players. I think they're gonna feel real at home, and Christian Parker seemed real approachable. So if they got any questions or any hesitance in their way they want to go about stuff, I think they can go straight in there and holler at them and work out the kinks and stuff. So I do like the situation we in. I just want to make sure, we just temper our expectations. It's going to be great in time, I think. I think it'll be great with time for sure.
How would have the two of you all kind of hit it off, would you say? It seems like you're both sort of cerebral football junkies. How have you hit it off? Yeah, hit it off pretty well. I think even down to his 30 visit coming in here, he was very familiar with what we were going to do because he watched our tape from Philadelphia. The past 2 years, Jim Knowles and Matt Guerrieri, their safeties coach, came up to visit us in Philly during the spring twice when I was there. So a lot of the stuff he was familiar with from the shell system and some of the things. They played a different style, but it was very similar. So talked about some of those things on this visit, talked about his tape, and it's been the same thing last night and today.
Christian, what did you see from Malachi at UCF that jumped off the film and then in your meetings with him that made you comfortable putting him in this whole defense?
Yeah, we had him in the formal process at the combine. I think you see just a natural rusher on tape. He has natural instincts. He could turn his toe at the top of the rush. He plays with power. He plays with urgent effort. You see him just running down quarterbacks, and that's one thing we talk about. 3 quarterbacks in our division are all athletic. So anybody we deploy on the edge has to be able to run sideline to sideline with him, and he had that. We had him in the room, very smart, very thorough, very just detailed in everything that he talked about from run, pass, how we studied our linemen, just the whole 9 yards. So had really good exposure to him in that process.
It's kind of weird that sometimes it depends on how, from your perspective, because I like Malachi Lawrence. I think he's going to be dope. But I think one of the things I did see, I saw some of that pursuit. One could interpret that as cleanup sacks or, just effort sacks. But I think in the NFL world, they just love that effort regardless of what you want to categorize it as. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see a guy that just ran through a block, had to go around somebody and just constantly fighting until he get to where he going, I can coach that up to get better. You know what I'm saying? I can coach that effort all day long. I think they'll take effort over the lack thereof any day. You know what I'm saying? So I think what I saw, the motor in Malachi Lawrence, I think that's going to translate well. I think they're going to be able to coach him up, get him even more refined with his pass rush moves, with his first step, with his strength to power. Speed to power type techniques that he got, swim moves, jabs, rips. I think he going to refine all of that, especially working with BT Jordan, and I think he'll eventually be a monster. Like, I don't like first-year defensive linemen at all, but hopefully, with the coaching staff we got, he can at least be further along than he should be. That's what I'm hoping for.
During the draft process and your history and the defenses that you've learned under, how did you kind of see Barham as this chess piece that you could use as an inside linebacker?
Well, I think the best thing is you don't have to project it because you see it. At both Maryland and Michigan, he's playing in both spots. He's playing off the ball. He's playing on the edge. They're playing Ohio State. It's goal line. He's 3 yards behind the nose and just tracking the football. So you see those different traits. So you want to see him off the ball and kind of see how that goes from that transition before you put him anywhere else. You could take advantage of more versatility when he's on that second level than if he's on the edge. But he's certainly capable of playing both. We're gonna keep him at Mike right now and kind of see how that goes.
How have you seen?
One thing that he did say that really caught my attention, and it was a small ball that might have just went past your head, but I do like how he said you don't have to project it, you can see it. Now that don't sound like it's too, elaborate to some people, but when you think about it, I wonder, is that an indication that he's not one of those guys who's just gonna experiment with a lot of players? Like when they come over here, it's like, I seen what you do well, I saw what you did at your college and on your film, that's what we want you to do here. Stay the same player that we drafted. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get these coaches who have a vision for certain players and be like, well, I think he can do this, even though he never done it before. And then now you have a player that you don't even like right now. You know what I'm saying? And you brought him in and had him doing something that he don't do. So that's really on coaching. That's really bad judgment on some of the coaches. In my opinion, a coach supposed to put the players in the best position and set them up for success. Maximize what the player do well and let him do that. Like, you don't have to stretch the player out until, he's not as effective. Like, I think some players just do certain things well. You should have them featured in that type of role. I think that's the best way coaching go. But salute to my guy Swad D in the building with the with the $10 suit. Trap. He says, I am cautiously optimistic. I think that's a perfect way to describe it, sir. And I believe in Parker's plan, but I would feel better if they added a true veteran green dot in the linebacking core and another respectable pass rusher. I think that's fair. That's exactly how I feel, Suave. I really do think we need to add another veteran linebacker. I've been hearing rumblings about Bobby Wagner and stuff. I don't know if he signed back with the Commanders or is he just a free agent right now. No, he's an old man, but this old man been an all-pro in the last couple of years. So, hey, he still got something left in the tank. I would surely welcome him with open arms over here if that was the case, because I do think you can't have enough veteran linebackers, and I don't think we got enough at all. So I would definitely sign a veteran linebacker and another edge. I'm on the same team as you. But yeah, we on the same page with that one.
What type of players succeed in past defenses that you've been a part of?
It's kind of similar to Baron Browning was probably the most recent example. When he was at Ohio State, he played both spots. We drafted him in Denver. He was hurt when he came out. He ended up starting his rookie year at Mike and started for a couple games for us, and then he ended up moving to edge after that. But Jay Sean has some similar traits to Baron. We just got to kind of bring him along and see how the brain works.
You had a defensive coordinator job, and you looked at the way the roster was on defense. How does it look now compared to then?
I think we've done a good job. I think the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent. Bringing players to us. We're having great dialogue on what the schematic fits are, what we're looking for, what we expect those guys to do in different situations. If we have this, then maybe we don't have that, and kind of how to piece it all together. Because the defense is going to get formed about the personnel that we have. But their process has been very thorough in terms of just accumulating the talent.
Christian.
Hold on.
And their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent.
Let me know if I'm looking at this the wrong way, or am I bugging out? Am I tripping or what? Let me know. But to me, that answer sounded like I told them the characteristics of the player, but I didn't just go handpick the player that I wanted. Now, I did hear they gonna go into him talking about he's sending pictures to Stephen Jones and them and stuff like that. So I've been hearing that he got a lot of pull in the front office right now, and they believe in him and they giving him leeway, but it still sounds like he a little restricted. Or is that me? Or is it just me? Let me know, y'all. What y'all think? Because it sounds like he's still a little restricted. He said they did a good job in evaluating talent and did this and did that. He didn't say we. He didn't really include himself in that. Like, maybe that was he misspoke or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'm looking too deep into it. But for him to still be having to send pictures and stuff, it sounds like he might have not been that involved. Like, he was involved, but he wasn't as involved as he would like. And then I think on the low, one of the reporters asked him this question at the very end of the interview. And I think a lot of people missed it. And he basically asked him, did he feel like his voice was heard? I think I recorded it on here too, so we gonna talk about it when we get to it, but that's a very interesting take. Let me know what y'all think about that, man, because I could be tripping. But it do sound like he's still kind of restricted, and I don't like the fact that he didn't include himself in it. He didn't say we did a good job in evaluating talent and picking out the players. He said they. I don't know.
Was on defense. How does it look now compared to then?
I think we've done a good job. I think the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent. Bringing players to us.
I ain't gonna lie, league commander, you the op, but that show went across my mind. Shot have been throwing that elite word around a little too freely. He probably just being hyperbolic, He gotta trust him though. He gotta trust him because he hired him. So he probably do feel like he's elite. He believe in him.
Great dialogue on what the schematic fits are, what we're looking for, what we expect those guys to do in different situations. If we have this, then maybe.
Now look though, what's so crazy? He started spamming the word "weed in" after that. So listen.
Coordinator job, and you looked at the way the roster was on defense. How does it look now compared to then?
I think we've done a good job. I think the Joneses and Will and their staff over there, they've done a good job just assessing and evaluating talent. Bringing players to us. We're having great dialogue on what the schematic fits are, what we're looking for, what we expect those guys to do in different situations. If we have this, then maybe we don't have that, and kind of how to piece it all together. Because the defense is going to get formed about the personnel that we have. But their process has been very thorough in terms of just accumulating the talent.
Their process.
Conversation about you is about your.
Maybe he's saying there because he's new to it, and they already got a way of doing things. It might be just some semantic type stuff that I look too deep into. So hopefully it's not a red flag like I thought. I hope he's as involved as he want to be.
Gio, how much is that a carryover? Do you have new things that you want to implement, or is it going to be a lot of similarities?
We'll see.
Jerry talked about how
he keep dodging a lot of that because they keep bringing up Fangio, they keep bringing up the Eagles, they keep bringing up Denver and all these other people that he's associated with. He man, he had to end up just saying listen, this is gonna be my defense. It's our defense. I love how he approached that.
They were to get scaled down for him to fall as far as he did. What was just your perspective on draft night as you're watching the picks go in and you're like, hey, Caleb is still there, and knowing how much you guys liked him?
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing the guys come off the board and you're just seeing his name is still up there, and you're just hoping that we get in striking distance where you don't have to sacrifice everything to go get him.
Hold on, somebody pointed it out on the .com chat box. They was like, you could see Christian Parker trying not to smile when he talk about Caleb Downs. Trap. Hey, now that I put that on your mind, let me know if they lying, because I swear it's like his whole demeanor changed when he started talking about Caleb. Check him out.
How lucky they were to get scaled down for him to fall as far as he did. What was just your perspective on draft night as you're watching the picks go in and you're like, hey, Caleb,
look at him. You know how when you try not to smile, you do some weird shit with your mouth and shit. Trap. They was spot on that, I feel like. They was spot on. It's like he trying his best not to giggle. He I'm so happy.
How much you guys liked him?
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing the guys come off the board and you're just seeing his name is still up there, and you're just hoping that we get in striking distance where you don't have to sacrifice everything to go get him. And I think we got to a certain spot we were comfortable with. Jerry made the call to go make it happen, and I'm glad we did.
What was your reaction after the pick went in?
I was pretty excited.
We see. I do. I feel you, man. That's good, though. I'm glad they got that guy.
A lot of pictures of Caleb just randomly throughout those.
Right or wrong, so I'm just trying to make sure it ain't
give
just
little
me.
reminders. As you go through this process, we have the position meetings and then we restack the board and everything. There's a lot of names. It's not just defense, it's offense, it's special teams. So just, kind of send them a couple of
Hold on, that's the part.
Yeah, board, and you're just seeing his name is still up there, and you're just hoping that we get in striking distance where you don't have to sacrifice everything to go get him. And I think we got to a certain spot we were comfortable with. Jerry made the call to go make it happen, and I'm glad we did.
What was your reaction after the pick went in?
I was pretty excited.
Will said that you were sending a lot of pictures of Caleb just randomly throughout those. What kind of...
This man sending random pictures to Jerry. Trap. I ain't mad at them though, bro. By any means, Christian. By any means, cause keep it fresh on their mind. I
just wanted to give them little reminders. As you go through this process, we have the position meetings and then we restack the board and everything. There's a lot of names. It's not just defense, it's offense, it's special teams. So just kind of send them a couple of reminders. Maybe you can schedule messages to get sent on the iPhone now. So you send it at night, get it sent at 8 a.m. the next morning. So when he's walking in the office, he kind of sees it and everything. So I'll say it worked out pretty well.
What's your vision for LT Overton on the defensive line? Where do you envision him playing, and what kind of role do you see him having?
Yeah, we see him as a defensive tackle. We know he can play on the edge some. That's what he did at Alabama. We've seen him play over tackles and tight ends and kind of play more vertical. Marcus kind of has a good plan for him, whether it's the 3, the 4-eye, playing some 5. But we really see a versatile player that, he plays a violent style. He uses his hand well. He plays with a good power base. He's been in different alignments already, so it's going to be even more comfortable for him here.
For sure. I honestly think that ain't a bad idea for LT Overton. Y'all know I'm an Alabama fan, Roll Tide. I watched every game LT played. And I do think he might make more noise being in the interior. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the way he rushed, he got moves and stuff like that, but it seems like his strength is his best attribute out there. So if he can maximize that in the interior, I think it'll play out better for him and have a long-term career in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I think he could be like a similar player to Oso Digizua in the future. That might have been what they was looking at. Like, you know, we can draft one of those type players, but you know how Oso went he was a 3-tech, but he was not like just a run-stuffing defensive tackle. He was a penetrator, and I think LT could be that too. So that's dope. I really think that I think that's an underrated move right there. You got a pretty quality defensive player in LT. He was the leader in our group in Alabama, and we didn't have the greatest pass rushing group this year, but he did push his way to be the featured guy, so that's a good sign in an SEC school like Bama. But salute to my guy Swab D with the $5 super, man. I appreciate you. He said another one for you, bro. I wish that Downs would have stayed in Bama. Yeah, I do too, man. But I couldn't even get mad at Caleb, man. When Nick Saban retired, I couldn't get mad at him, man. He came to Bama to play with Nick Saban, and he got on, so I can't get mad at him. Miss NC, North Carolina in the building, Chelsea Lynn. She just joined the channel today, I think. She says, Landlord Sports, I have a sports channel as well. I do. You allow reactions to your content. I love to cover what you're talking about here. Sure, you know, that's cool with me. That's cool with me. Let's see. What else? Let's see what else he said.
Let me get as much time as I can, and we'll figure out who's the mic, who's the slot, and those kinds of things. In comparison to we're signing or we're drafting a true mic or a true slot guy.
Yeah. You just want as many good players as you can possibly find, and you know that's our job to figure it out from there.
That's why it was important for you to say, let me get some versatility in some of these guys that you acquire, whether it's the draft or free agency.
Yeah, I think naturally, like really good football players that are smart and play the right way and play with intensity, like those are naturally going to be versatile players. Now, you don't need everybody to play versatile. You know, like everybody doesn't have to play in multiple spots. You want guys to get good at one spot. If they can do multiple jobs and wear multiple hats, that is what it is. But I wouldn't say we were seeking to find as many players that could play, you know, it's not like, you know, other sports where you got to play both. You know what I'm saying? If we can have a guy just play safety and we have the best nickel, we're going to do that. If it's a guy that we want to play in one position in base, one position in nickel, we're going to do that too. So I think we just wanted as many good players as we could find.
What do you like about D. Wonders?
I think number one, you feel his athleticism and you just feel his intensity to the football. You know, he's a really good space player. He can really evaporate space, you know, when that ball's thrown in check downs or he's, you know, running from, you know, C gap to C gap or A gap to C gap or whatever it might be. You just see this intensity and really good angles that he plays with, and he's violent, you know, and we encourage that. So
I like that. We encourage violence over here.
Trap.
Absolutely.
Trap.
On defense, we encourage violence for sure. Hey, in the trenches, period. We encourage violence. I love that.
Yeah, we think he's gonna have a good transition. You know, kind of getting started working with him, and we're ready to see how it goes.
How does he compare to Overshown in as far as the green dot is concerned? What you want those two linebackers to do?
We'll see. It's too early.
They asking a million questions about this green dot, and you see how he Michael Jackson sliding all across it. Like he's not facing that head on. Shot is not facing that head on. That's a problem, y'all. That's a potential problem that we gotta get through. Evaporate space was cold when the truck. He kind of cut up with that. Salute to my guy Donna Holmes in the building, man. Salute to you.
Christian, I realize it's only an hour practice. It's rookie minicamp. Not everybody's out there. What was it like to be on the grass today for the first time and seeing some of the things that you want to see athletically from these guys?
Oh, it was good. I think anytime you get back on the practice field, like that's, you know, a safe haven in a lot of situations, you know what I'm saying? So seeing the coaches coach, you know, the position coaches and their detail and their emphasis on certain things, seeing the players moving around. You know, I think anytime you get out there and you hear that music blaring, you know, you're one step closer to really kind of, you know, getting to it, and that's what we do this for.
Christian, what have you learned about how to delegate to throughout your coaching staff what your vision is, what you want them to do, and how to apply that?
Yeah, I think number one, I've had some really good examples to learn from. With Mike Elko, Mike Pettin, Gerald Evero, Vance Joseph, and Vic. They did that, so I saw that in that style. So really, just what was comfortable for me. Meeting a lot together and kind of explaining the vision, getting.
Why everybody just talk about Vic when he got all these other ties too? You know what I'm saying? He got other people that he's already, adapting to and getting inspired by. So I don't know, man. This could be a dope creation when you mix Vance Joseph and Vic Fangio and with his own new modern spin on it. Like this could be a dope defense, man. Like, and he's his own man. He's not just gonna cookie cutter, copy exactly what either one of them did. Like he's gonna want to make his own mark. So I'm excited about it. If I was him, I'd take the best of what I like from Vance Joseph and the best what I like from Vic Fangio, mix them together and take some aspects from each one and put my own spin on it and cater all that to the talent that I got in this group. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the best way to do it. And I think he's creative. And I've been seeing some stuff that Shotty said. Shotty said he look at himself like a workaholic. And Shotty said he been coming to the building and Christian been beating him. Then he said when he leave, he said Christian be still there. So, hey, Christian working day in, day and night, trying to make sure he get this shit right, man. Trap. We got us a workaholic, so, then his reputation precedes him. So I can see why a lot of people gonna be optimistic about what he's gonna do this year. But like I said, just to be fair, man, just be fair to the young man. Give him time to build this into what he actually wanted to be. It might take at least 1 or 2 draft classes for him to actually get the type of defense that he want to have. And, he done already changed the whole, the build of the defense. Like, we not even built the same as we was last year. So you gotta give it time to gel together and all that, man. I just want y'all to be a little fair and be a little patient with your new DC, man. Just be patient.
Input, us kind of having a collective shared vision on what we want this defense to look like, because it's our defense.
Our defense.
I don't want it to be called the Eagles defense or Vic's defense. Like, this is going to be ours. So
I love it. Let's go. Trap. This is our defense. I'm done with all that Eagles defense and Vic Fangio, all that. This is his. He making his own.
We've been really intentional about going about that process, from language that we use and the workflow that we have and everything else. So it's been real fun.
Back on the draft process and the texting of folks.
Now, this is the question that I think is snuck over a lot of people's head. Listen to him.
We've been really intentional about going about that process, from language that we use and the workflow that we have and everything else. So it's been real fun.
Back on the
Vic Jones coming here talking crazy.
And such, how much did you feel like your voice was heard by the Joneses, by Will, as the process went along?
Yeah, I feel like it was a very collaborative approach, from Will to the Joneses to Klein Kubiak to Shotty to the position coaches. I mean, there's a whole lot of dialogue. You're getting different perspectives. People are responsible for looking at certain things and gathering certain information. So I think as we kind of explained what we were looking for and how we were looking for it, I think it all came together and was real collaborative.
Real collaborative. I don't know how to feel about that. It gotta be collaborative, of course. I'm not acting like I'm naive. I understand that Will and Klein Kubiak and Jerry and Steve, and I understand that it's a process, it's a chain of commands. It's several people that gotta evaluate these talents, the scouts, and everybody gotta come on, end up in the same space with it. But collaborative is very scary when you in Cowboy land, man. Trap. Don't blame me for my PTSD for being a Cowboy fan. I know Jerry and them, we know they metal. That's why I was kind of concerned when I heard all this collaboration and stuff like that. Look, she on it. That's what I'm saying. That collaboration shit when you here in Dallas and you talking about the Joneses, you only should be collaborating with Will McClay and the scouts or some shit. Hey, stay away from the Joneses, man. I don't like that part, but I'm excited about it, man. I do think it's a lot. It's going to be definitely different. You really can't go nowhere but up from here. So I think he do got a good plan for what he's trying to do with this defense. Shout out to Dono Holmes on the cash out, man. I appreciate you, my guy. But before we get up out of here, man, I do want to like ramble out some of these names because I don't think people really understand how different this defense finna be. This is a totally different defense. Okay, on the defensive line, okay, let's see. These are the departures you had from the defensive line. You traded Oso Digizua and Solomon Thomas, and you released Perion Winfrey. Okay, now you added, we know Quinn Williams came last year, but you added Quinn Williams, Akbania, and Jonathan Bullard. So that's 3 different defensive tackles you got right there off the bat that will be a part of your team. Okay, then you got to look at the departures on the edge. You got rid of Peyton Turner, Jadeveon Clown is no longer here, and Dante Fowler. That's a lot of people that contributed to your team that's going to be totally different this year. And your additions was Rashawn Gary, Malachi Lawrence, LT Overson, Donovan Izaraku. Now, that's 4 players that's no longer here. Clowney and Dante Fowler actually were starters and they actually contributed. So that's a big change. Okay, now let's go to the linebackers. You had Logan Wilson. You had Logan Wilson, Jack Sanborn, and Kenneth Murray, and what his name is, Clark. All them players are no longer here. They won't be getting time. You added on D. Winters in the trade from San Francisco. You making Barham into a linebacker, and then Chris Robinson, a free agent. And then, you know, Overshawn gonna be playing full the whole year, hopefully. And that's totally different. I'm just telling you, all 3 of these position groups was different. I just went over the defensive tackles. 3 players different. Went over the edge rushers. 3 players different. Went over the linebackers. 3 players different. Like, it's crazy, okay? Safety. Now you look at Wanye Thomas is no longer here. Donnell Savage is no longer here. Donovan Wilson is a free agent. I'm pretty sure we not signing Donovan Wilson back. That's a change. Now you added on Caleb Downs, Jalen Thompson, PJ Locke, Julius Woods. So, hey, this is a total overhaul. I don't think people really understand how much changes it's been. Okay, now we're looking at cornerback. CJ Goodwin is no longer here. Noah Ibenagami, I don't know why they got him on here, but that's probably an error. Okay, because he been gone. Did he leave earlier this year or that was last year? I think he left last year. But these are your cornerback additions. You got Kobe Durant, Darian Kendrick, Siobhan Revel, and Devin Moore. Okay? That is a whole lot of different people that's finna be on this defense, y'all. And you changing schemes, and you changing defensive coordinators. So from each position group, I just named you at least 2 to 3 different starters at damn near every position group. Like, this is a total reboot at the defensive side of the ball, y'all. And we just gotta hope that it works out. We gotta hope that his vision is fulfilled and he get everything he needs so he can become this great defense that we hoping for, man. Real talk. Like, it's a lot of stuff that he changed, and we just gotta hope for the best. I'ma holler at y'all on some of these comments. Y'all can shoot some questions real quick before I wrap it up, and then I'ma let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. My boy Lou says, Land, did you catch how Shotty said he brought BT to the O-line room to help them get better as well? That's dope, because BT is training all the top defenders. So, yeah, that'll be a great way, because a lot of the best pass rushers are using his techniques. So that's a great way for him to help them be prepared for what they're going to see. You know what I'm saying? That's a great way to do it. That's a brilliant idea from Shotty them to bring him in and like, okay, what can I do to combat some of these techniques that you're teaching them? That's brilliant. Let's see. My guy Gavin SC says Christian Parker should stay away from Jerry Diddy and Stephen Jones Diddy. Facts. We don't want none of that, bro. Stay away. Hey, tell Diddy no, Christian. Like, you don't want to get, you know what I'm saying, infected with that Jones. You don't want none of that over there. Devin Overton in the building says Julius Woods is on the roster. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's why I named him as a somebody that's still on the roster. If I didn't, it was a mistake, my fault. But yeah, I'm glad he's still here too, because I really like Julius Woods. I think he can actually be a great backup player for you and give you some good reps. He'll be pretty much like, he kind of plays similar to Caleb Downs if you think about it. Like he kind of like that type of player. He want to lay you out. He don't mind playing in the box, and he coming with bad intentions. I love it. Shout out to my guy Nigel Wanza with the $5 super, man. I appreciate you. He says, have we ever seen the Cowboys do this to a defense post our 90s team? Not that I remember, but to be honest, man, when you think about it, it was so bad that it had to be some type of, hostile takeover instead of just a few slight changes. Like, nah, that was one of the worst defenses in NFL history. I think they said we gave up like 600 points or some crazy shit. Like, trap. I think them folks said we gave up like 600 points, bro. Like, this was literally one of the worst defenses ever assembled. And I think it might have been the worst defense in Cowboys history. So, like, you gotta, it was 511 points. It was some crazy, like, bro, that's ridiculous. So, like, you have to do some drastic changes. It can't be subtle changes when you giving up 500 points. Like, that's just insane. But, that was a suitable, drastic moves. What they say, desperate times call for desperate measures, that was desperate. Like, that was necessary, in my opinion. Let's see. My boy Lou says, I also feel like people sleeping on the Bullard signing. Watching a lot of Saints game this past year, he's like that in the run game. Hey, we shouldn't be giving up too much run, because we got a lot of run stuffers on this team now. And it kind of hindered us with the pass rush. But, hey, it's really a catch-22, because guess what? When you had Micah Parsons, you had the best rusher in the league, but you couldn't stop the run, so it pretty much neutralized Micah. Like, you couldn't even get the full benefits of having a Micah Parsons, because guess what? Why the hell would they face Micah in a passing situation if they don't have to? All they got to do is run the ball. It was a catch-22, so now you can stop the run. We don't have the elite pass rusher to expose them in that regard. Hopefully, these guys take leaps like Izaraku take a step. Hopefully, not just Barham, Malachi Lawrence or something can come in and just be a contributor. And Rashawn Gary, we need him to play out of his mind. And I don't see it because I didn't see it on film. Hopefully, Christian Parker got some stuff that he know how to work him better than the Green Bay did, because I saw Terrence Steele lock that man up. Trap. I'm not the biggest Terrence Steele fan, and Terrence Steele had that man in prison, so I don't know how I could just change my mind on him. Like, I don't know, but hopefully I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, for sure. I've been wrong about Javonte Williams. Nobody thought he was gonna be like that. He had a hell of a year compared to what we thought. So I've been wrong before. Hopefully this is another case where I'm wrong again. So, but I can't lie to y'all, it don't look too great in my opinion. Like, I don't know, but we need Rashawn Gary to be a great player for us. No lie, because he's the vet. We don't have too many more, like, sustainable guys or proven guys in the pass rushing room. So, I don't know. We're going to have to pray about it, man. We're going to have to just pray about it. I guess that's the best answer. Yeah, so let me holler at y'all a couple more questions. It says, the Cowboys wanted Christian Miller from Georgia, who went in the second round. Go Dogs. All right. Screw the Dogs, but, you know, y'all my neighbors, so I ain't mad at you. I love going to Atlanta. 2-hour drive, so I ain't mad. Miss Chelsea Lynn says people be so quick to judge if a player is good or bad before they even hit the field. Yeah, I mean, because guess what, though? Like, we all got confidence in our scouting. Like, if you watch a lot of film, if you know football, you confident in your takes on these players. But at the same time, you do be wrong sometimes. I remember damn near the whole draft community shitted on Scoutaboo last year. Man, when I started seeing Scoutaboo run that ball, I said, shit, I was wrong. I said, man, Scoutaboo a damn animal out there. Like, I love the way he run. Like, I think we just wrong. Like, sometimes you just be wrong, bro. Real talk. When everybody was talking about how slow he was, like, man, that man came out that bed, he was a monster. He ended up getting hurt, but you can't tell me you didn't change your perception on what Scoutaboo was last year. Like, he had a great start. And screw the Giants, but, just being fair to the player that we evaluate, like, I think he changed a lot of minds last year. Like, nah, this ain't what you thought it was. And he was running the hell out the ball. League commander in the building says Kentucky Derby is about to start. Got Dallas Cowboys losing. His odds are terrible. It is what it is. Shout out to my guy Common Sense Lab. People be wrong because they never factor mentality. It's very important. Because guess what? You can have all the ability in the world. If you don't want to be here, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to do it, it don't fucking matter. At the end of the day, it don't matter. Your mindset got to be there. You got to actually love football. Instead of just loving money, you got to actually love football. Because guess what? It's going to come a time and place where you get the money. You know what I'm saying? Once you get the money, now what's your motivation? You can't just love the money and just do it because of the money, because at some point in time, you might feel comfortable in how much money you got, and now you don't have the burning desire to be great no more. The best type of player to get is the ones who love the game. You gonna automatically love the money. I understand that. But if you love the game itself, that's when you can trust that player to give the maximum effort that you deserve on a play-to-play basis. Because he's not just playing for the money and the benefits that this game gives him. He's playing for a pride thing. He's doing the best because of his last name on his goddamn back. He's playing the best because of the star that gave him his chance and really gave him a shot to be a great player. I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's certain people that just take a different kind of level of pride into what the hell they doing. So if you can't find players like that, you won't have a good team. You got to just have pride in the type of shit that you do. When my last name on the back of my shirt, you won't catch me out there playing like a cow with a horse playing and just, lacking out there playing around. No, I'm repping for my whole family. They finna be proud that I bear their last name on the national TV stage, and I'm finna go out here and go crazy. That's not even for the team. That's not for y'all. That's for me and my family. You supposed to have that type of pride in your name. So, I don't know. Some people just not built like that, man. Some people just not built like that. Common Sense said, Landlord, you remember the movie Replacements? The Cowboys have that quicksand mentality. Yeah, I don't know, man. They got to get right, bro. They got to get right. And I think Caleb Downs the type of guy that can help change your culture, too. I think he a culture type player. He's one of those players that I just described. He's going to play the right way. When you get one of your best players playing the right way, you don't accept mediocrity. Like, bruh, think about it. If you know you badly on this goddamn roster, how can you afford not to be working hard, goddamn? Trap. If you know you not that caliber of player, you can't afford to be over here playing around. When you see a player like Caleb Downs out here day and night, coming in early, leaving late, doing everything, like, bro, you gonna be like, bro, if he doing all that, I gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the last motherfucker who should not be doing that if Caleb Downs doing all that, if CeeDee Lamb doing all that, if Dak Prescott doing all that. My ass, that's, you know what I'm saying? The 42nd player on the roster, I definitely need to be doing that. So, your leadership, it forms a standard. It forms a standard. And I know for a fact Dak Prescott been showing that from day one, the characteristics and the mentality of a championship level player. And that bleeds over into our offense. Now, we've been kind of lacking that on the defensive end, just being real. Like, I think Micah did it, but it was just a weird way that Micah led, in my opinion. Y'all know how I feel about Micah, just being real. It was just a little weird way he led, in my opinion. But I think he did lead by example, but it's just certain things like the fashion that he did it in just wasn't my cup of tea, just to be honest. But maybe Caleb Downs could come in here and do it the right way. I think it's a customized way to do it in Dallas. Like, I think anywhere else, Micah probably would be great. He would have been fine. But I think Dallas is such a media circus. There's so much stuff going on around us that you got to be, like, even more dialed in as a leader while you in Dallas. Like, you got to be even more focused, even more purposeful in the way that you go about your business. Like, you are already in a pressurized situation. You in a crazy environment. You got to be locked in to be able to come to Dallas and actually maximize your opportunity to win. So I think it's just different, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It's tougher to lead in Dallas with the way this organization made up. It just is. So it is what it is, man. But hey, I think I did my time. Let me know if y'all enjoyed the show, man. I know it be few and far between when you get the trap coming live. Trap. It be few and far in between, man. We got 100 people on here. I know all 100 of y'all ain't hit the like button because I only got 70. So, man, if y'all could do your boy a favor, man, it is free. Help me get to 100 likes before y'all leave, man. Hey, y'all know YouTube be hating me out. You know, I'm in an everlasting battle with the algorithm. You know, I keep it a little too solid. They might not want to promote me, but, you know, if you enjoy independent thought, independent content creators that do what they want to do, I don't answer to nobody. I don't bow down to nobody. Y'all know how Landlord get down. If you've been following me, you know how I rock. I'm not backing down from nobody. I'm not biting my tongue for nobody. I do what the hell I want to do on my show. So, you know, it's consequences that come with that. So I'm going to have to trust y'all to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you support the show in the best way possible, man. And, hey, I appreciate all the love and support from y'all. Salute the Suave with the buzzer beater, $5 holler. He said, it feels good to have a franchise player in the secondary. Dallas hasn't had that in damn near 20 years, man. Facts. But, hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Thanks for all the love and support. Make sure you hit that like and share for the squad. It will not charge a card, I promise. And, hey, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And you already know why them haters hate on us, man. You know why? Because we are the greatest. That's why. Salute to all my people. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like and share for the squad. Hit that hype button, man. Hey, man, look out.
In my
Support. Let's go.
And this is greatness defined. Every line is divine. Verses boggle your mind. And every song, man, I swear it just get better with time. No matter how much shade they throwing, I still manage to shine. I don't know why they so obsessed with mine. I'm all they think about. Go in their house, they probably got my pics in a shrine. Damn, I never let these niggas play me. They see us ballin', now they wanna switch teams like KD. I know my time coming, I guess I'ma wait and see. I'm too cocky and confident that humble shit ain't for me, Lord. Help me with my egotistical ways, but I'm amazed how they display such miserable hate. I never paid attention to what most these niggas will say. Their words are unimportant like prepositional phrase. They wanna see me crash and burn in a ridiculous blaze, but yet I rise like the phoenix. Show these bitches I'm great enough. Yeah, I know these haters can't stand me. Well, take a seat, I do it for the family. So street, bring the block to the Grammys. And if you try to stop me, you need a plan B, yeah. I just do it for the real. If you ain't from the bottom, you ain't get how I feel. To go against the odds, go hard, chase meals and dollars till you make it. Show 'em all you the great. I'm the greatest.
Young poet got flows flowing that's mind-blowing. I'm flamboyant when brainstorming, that's fair warning. For my opponents that will be mourning before the morning. Every beat I eat and destroy it, that's what the fans wanted. The hot topic, you try to copy, that's hard stopping. Yeah, I'm a giant when rhyming, but y'all microscopic. I got them watching and they believing me like a prophet, cause the pics I'm cropping be masterpieces, they photoshopping. I'm from the bottom, assembled by the avenue, so I gotta pay homage to the hood to show my gratitude. And then my attitude is similar to an animal. These dudes ain't half as cool, I got different levels to tap into. I am the truth, these people know that I kill it. These are God level lyrics, I should be on Mount Olympus. My music therapeutic to the real people's spirit, like it came from ancient Kemet. Ain't nobody messing with me, I'm the greatest. Let's go.
Trap, 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 trap.
And like I say, 1K, one love, Cowboys Nation. Let's get it.